For Green Industry News, this is The Turn. Live from the Turfs Up Radio studios in Louisville, Kentucky, with coverage across the country and across the street, also across the room. Live from the Turfs Up Radio news desk, I'm Steve Anthony. In the news, the economy. In the last 3 years before COVID-19, the stock market had boomed. Customers were spending more money, and many landscape contractors say they were seeing an increase in business. Industry professionals were optimistic after the presidential election. According to a January 2016 Lawn and Landscape survey, after a year of President Donald Trump's administration, contractors were seeing benefits of an upturn in the stock market. At the Green Team based in Roanoke, Virginia, 2017 was the best year they've ever had since the business opened in 2006, and still going strong. Consumer confidence was at a 20-year high. People's 401ks were doing really well and still are. Companies were giving out bonuses, so people were getting a little bit extra income. Contractors say their votes have had an impact on the economy and the boom in business. 80% believe the office of the presidency has some impact on the industry. According to Lawn and Landscape Research, more than half of landscapers say they're concerned about a minimum wage increase. That could mean big trouble for contractors, many of whom are already concerned about being undercut by companies who pay their workers low wages. Chris Lusk, owner of Global Design Landscapes in Virginia Beach, Virginia, says he noticed an increase in business toward the middle of 2018 as the economy improved. His repeat customers are getting more confident and spending more money. It's no secret, lower taxes and deregulation has had a substantial impact on our economy. I'm Steve Anthony for Turfs Up Radio News. Now, with your Turfs Up Radio Sports Report, here's Ryan Breda.
Hello, Turfs Up Radio listeners. This is Ryan Breda giving you today's sports report. Cleveland Browns wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. will be out for the rest of the year due to a torn ACL. The three-time Pro Bowler was attempting to tackle Bengals cornerback Darius Phillips after he intercepted a pass from Baker Mayfield in the first quarter when he went down after landing awkwardly on his left leg. The Los Angeles Dodgers won Game 5 of the World Series on Sunday night by a score of 4-2. Clayton Kershaw started the game for the Dodgers as he passed Justin Verlander for the most career postseason strikeouts with 207. The Dodgers are now one win away from winning the World Series. And lastly, it was a successful day for the Washington football team's head coach Ron Rivera as he received cheers after leaving a Northern Virginian hospital after receiving his last round of chemotherapy and proton therapy. After leaving the hospital, Rivera then rang a bell, raised his left fist, signaling the end of his treatments. That's it for the sports report. This is Ryan Breda, reporting for Turfs Up Radio. Your industry, your station. Now, back to you, Steve.
Thank you, Ryan. Now let's turn to your weather across the nation. Here's Turfs Up Radio's own meteorologist, Abby Lancia.
Hello, everyone. This is Abby Lancia with Turfs Up Radio reporting your national weather forecast for Tuesday, October 27th, 2020. We have yet another storm that is expected to make landfall along the Gulf Coast this week. Hurricane Zeta, a Category 1 hurricane, is currently en route to the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico with winds currently at 80 miles per hour. This will be the 8th landfall on the U.S. Gulf Coast this hurricane season. We're expecting Zeta to make landfall on the Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi coast on Wednesday, New Orleans being one of the cities in the path of this storm. The biggest threat that Zeta currently poses is heavy rain. This storm is going to team up with the winter storm that we've been seeing in the southern plains, producing lots of rainfall in the Ohio Valley all the way to the northeast. So this winter storm named Billy has already caused lots of snow in the Rocky Mountain region as well as the Southern Plains. And as we continue, we're seeing this moisture pushed eastward. So for today, we're going to be seeing a snow and ice mix in New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas, which could cause some problems. But then through the overnight, there's going to be a chance of some more icing, over a half an inch in some places. And being it's so early to see this kind of weather, especially in this area, it's going to be easier for these conditions to cause some damage. We still have leaves on the trees, so having this heavy mix on top of that could cause some serious damage, like having trees down and power outages. And it's going to be very chilly over the central region. Rapid City only 7 degrees today, Denver at 5, and looking south will only be in the 20s to low 30s. And that is it for today, everyone. This is Abby Lancia with Turfs Up Radio, your industry, your station.
Thank you, Abby. That's it for the latest in green industry news, weather, and sports. To hear more and get the daily updates sent to your phone, be sure to download the Turn podcast on your mobile device. That's Turn for Turfs Up Radio News. For Turfs Up Radio, I'm Steve Anthony for the Turn.